The darkness of addiction, the loneliness, the helplessness, the unable to control, the need to stop. This is a picture of my late husband, drunk, unable to get up, hopeless. This is part of his story. His autobiography. Around 2008, I was about to get evicted from my apartment. My father had recently gotten stationed at an Air Force base in Shreveport, Louisiana. I hadn't had a chance to live near a family member in so long. He agreed to let me stay with him for a while, so I packed up everything I could fit into my car and took off for Shreveport. I soon got my own place and a job as an assistant manager. I continued my routine of drinking daily. After about 6 months, I started feeling sick, but I had to be at work. I was the assistant manager. After a week, I went in one day and that morning I did the paperwork and handed the keys to the next person that came in, and I attempted to drive myself to the hospital. The hospital was only 1 mile away. I didn't make it. I had a seizure and crashed into a Chick-fil-A sign. I woke up from a coma 3 days later. I saw my parents at the end of the bed. They explained that my kidneys had a buildup of toxins in the kidneys. My dad explained it like trying to put mud through a coffee filter. I was in the hospital for a total of 2 weeks. After I got out, my job allowed me back, and I went to outpatient treatment for 1 month. I stayed clean the whole time until one day I decided to celebrate or to try to prove that I was cured. I almost fell right back in to my same daily routine and quit going to outpatient. It caused me to lose my job. By October 2009, Best Buy hired me as a mobile salesman. I worked extremely hard and was promoted twice. I moved in with my best friend, and in 2011 tried to help him pay his mortgage. It was better than living alone in an apartment. There was drinking in the house until he went to depression treatment, which included some AA session and principles. He hasn't had a drink or gone out since. He's not even interested. He has talked to me about his concern about my drinking several times. At the beginning of this October, I had not been eating regularly, and because there was no beer around, I started drinking some of Don's old liquor that he didn't drink anymore. With the state of my body combined with the fact that I was drastically increasing my alcohol intake over a short amount of time, I started blacking out and feeling very sick. Sorry, it's so hard for me to do this. I've never read this before. It's my husband. I don't know this person. I was fired for missing work, which was extremely uncharacteristic. I loved it, and I loved my boss. Both of my roommates were out of town. I'm so sorry, this is the first time I'm reading this. I was constantly vomiting blood. My roommate. I'm so sorry, everybody. I just can't. I just don't know. My roommate, Matt, found me. Passed out on the couch. And immediately took me to the hospital. The doctor said that I had extensive damage to my esophagus, stomach, and kidneys, and liver. My potassium level was 0.1% above fatal. He said I probably would have had a cardiac arrest within 24 hours. My mother immediately flew down from Davenport to comfort me. She offered to take me back to Davenport to live with her on the condition that I go to inpatient treatment. I guess that was my intervention, but I didn't see any other option. My physical and psychological well-being depended on it, and most importantly, my life. When I was released from the hospital in Shreveport, we flew to Davenport and I checked into Riverside the next day. Now here, I am ready to continue my sober life as a recovering drug addict. And now he's gone. After this, I don't know how many relapses he had. He went to Davenport, I think, in 2012. He passed in 2014. I want to say he had 5 with me. I think he had 3 with his mom, or 4 maybe. In reflection, while writing this, I noticed that there's a pattern. Every job I lost, So sorry. Every job I lost, every relationship I broke, every health problem I had, all had one thing in common: drugs and alcohol. It just makes me imagine what could have been and how it can be. I'm going to pause here and I'm going to say, if you're struggling now, get help. They always used to say this: stop today because there might not be a tomorrow. There wasn't a tomorrow for Nate. His body, when they found his body, it was so badly decomposed. I had to identify him by the tattoo on his leg. The only way they knew his name was that his ID was next to him. They don't know how long he had been there. They thought it had only been a couple of weeks, but it was much longer because I had the evidence from his phone. He had been there about a month before anybody knew he was gone. That's what addiction does. I remember the day his family contacted me. And they said they hadn't heard from Nate. And they asked me if I could look at his phone. I had his old phone that was still connected to his new phone. And they asked me if I could look at his phone. And they asked me if I could see the last time he was online. I said, I don't have to look at his phone. You need to call the police. Last time he was online was February 28th. I thought he was either in jail, in the hospital, or in treatment. Because of the order of protection, I couldn't call anyone. I couldn't say anything because I would have violated it. His phone turned off around 10 a.m. that day. He was found in the kitchen. He was found in the kitchen with an arm on top of a kitchen chair, as if he was trying to get up and just couldn't. He was alone with the rats in the apartment. Windows open. His body was decaying so nobody could smell the smell. The police told me that the pictures are so bad, they don't want to give them to me. They told me it's so bad, I don't want to know. This is one of his hotel rooms. After 4 days of drinking, noticed the broken lamp, noticed all the alcohol. Feces covered the bed, covered the floor, covered the pillows. This was his life after he relapsed. Within 4 days, he was hospitalized. This is how they found the hotel room. This was $1,000 worth of damage in 4 days. $1,000. Stop now. Know that your loved ones love you. I never stopped loving him. I had to put up a boundary because he was violent when he drank. I had to get the kids and I to safety. But I never stopped loving him. I never stopped praying for him. When he was sober, that was not him. This is not who I married. So in his words in reflection, life is hard enough without you throwing your own roadblocks in the way. It's only by the grace of God, loving and forgiving friends and family. At the time he wrote this, that he was still here. Do I regret the good friends I've met throughout this wacky journey? No. I only regret that I could not have enjoyed more time with them if I wasn't abusing myself. I am an addict. I have tried just one drink, but it doesn't work. I've never had the determination. I can, I must, I will battle this every day. And I have the ability to win. He lost. He lost the battle to addiction. Because to him, having a drink was more important than anything. Because in his words, he was more afraid of not drinking than of death.